The Harmattan wind had just begun to settle over the small town when everything started to change. Dust hung in the air like secrets waiting to be uncovered, and in the quiet compound of the Okafor family, two sisters were drifting further apart without anyone truly noticing. Adiz was the elder sister, calm, graceful, and responsible. She carried herself with the quiet dignity of someone who had accepted life as it was. She had finished university, was working at a small farm in the city, and sent money home regularly. Everyone in the family was proud of her. Then there was Chioma. Chioma was fire where Adiz was water. Restless, bored, and filled with dreams too big for the town she lived in. She hated the slow rhythm of life, hated the way people talked about managing instead of living. She wanted more money, more excitement, more life. And most of all, she wanted out. It started with her phone. Every night, long after the generator had gone silent and the house fell into darkness, Chioma would scroll endlessly through social media. Photos of friends abroad, luxury lifestyles, smiling couples in foreign cities. But one particular person caught her attention. His name was Daniel. He was a white man from Europe. Tall, soft-spoken, and surprisingly kind. They met through a random comment under a travel post. What began as a simple conversation slowly turned into something deeper. Daniel listened. He listened to Chioma talk about her frustrations, her dreams, her desire to leave Nigeria and start a new life. He never mocked her. Instead, he encouraged her. "You deserve more," he would say. Those words stayed with her. Weeks turned into months. They spoke every day. Video calls became routine. He showed her his world, clean streets, quiet parks, warm apartments. It felt like another planet. One night, he said it. "Come and marry me." Chioma laughed at first. But he was serious. "I'll take care of everything," Daniel insisted. "You just need to come." That was when reality hit her. Passport. Visa. Money. Time. Everything she didn't have. But Adiz did. Adiz had a passport. A valid one. She had traveled once for a conference, and the document was safely kept in her room. Chioma knew where it was. For days, she fought the thought. It came and went like a whisper she tried to ignore. But the more she spoke with Daniel, the louder it became. "You just need to come." Just. One evening, Adiz returned from work exhausted. She dropped her bag, greeted their mother, and went straight to her room. Chioma watched her quietly. That night, while everyone slept, Chioma stood outside her sister's door. Her heart pounded so loudly she thought it would wake the entire house. "This is wrong," she whispered to herself. But then she remembered Daniel's smile. She remembered the life waiting for her. Slowly, she opened the door. Adiz slept peacefully, unaware. Chioma moved carefully, every step heavy with guilt. She opened the drawer. There it was. The passport. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. She hesitated one last time. Then she took it. The next few weeks moved like a blur. Daniel arranged everything. Documents were processed quickly, faster than Chioma expected. She used her sister's identity, memorized every detail, date of birth, place of issue, everything. She told no one. Not her mother. Not her friends. Not even Adiz. On the morning she left, she wrote a short note. "I'm sorry. I had to do this. I will explain one day." And just like that, she was gone. When Adiz discovered the missing passport, the house turned upside down. Shock. Anger. Confusion. Her mother cried for days. Why would she do this? She kept asking. Adiz said nothing at first. She simply stared at the empty drawer, trying to understand the sister she thought she knew. Deep down, she wasn't just angry. She was hurt. Meanwhile, Chioma arrived in a new world. Cold air hit her the moment she stepped out of the airport. Everything looked exactly like Daniel had shown her, clean, organized, almost unreal. And there he was. Waiting. He smiled when he saw her. "Welcome," he said softly. For a moment, everything felt worth it. They got married quietly. No family. No celebration. Just signatures and promises. Chioma became at ease in the eyes of the system, but inside, she remained herself, though slowly, that began to change. Life abroad wasn't as easy as she imagined. There were rules, expectations, and loneliness she hadn't prepared for. Daniel was kind, yes, but he had his own life, his own routines. He worked long hours. Sometimes, Chioma would sit alone in their apartment, staring out the window, wondering if she had made the right choice. And then came the guilt. It grew quietly at first. Then louder. Every time she spoke her sister's name, it felt like a lie sitting heavy on her tongue. Every time Daniel called her Adis in public, it pierced something inside her. She began to miss home. Miss her mother. Miss even the things she once complained about. But most of all, she missed her sister. Back home, months passed. Adis tried to move on, but something in her refused to settle. One evening, she received a message. It was from Chioma. "I'm sorry. I need to talk." Adis stared at the screen for a long time. Then she replied. "Call me." The call lasted hours. Tears flowed on both sides. Chioma confessed everything, how she took the passport, how she left, how she married Daniel. "I was desperate," she cried. "I thought this was my only chance." Adis listened quietly. When Chioma finished, there was silence. Then Adis spoke. "You didn't just take my passport," she said softly. "You took my trust." Chioma broke down completely. I know. I'm so sorry." There was another long silence. Then Adis sighed. "But you're still my sister." Those words changed everything. Over the next months, Chioma began to make things right. She told Daniel the truth. Everything. At first, he was shocked. Hurt, even. But he saw her tears. Her regret. And he chose to stand by her. "Then we fix it," he said simply. With legal help, they started correcting her identity. It wasn't easy. It took time, money, and patience. But slowly, things began to fall into place. Back home, Adis forgave her fully, not because what she did was small, but because love was bigger. 2 years later, Chioma returned home. This time, with her own passport. Her own name. Her own truth. Daniel came with her. The reunion was emotional. Their mother held both daughters tightly, as if afraid to lose them again. Adis and Chioma stood facing each other. No words at first. Then Chioma whispered, "Thank you for not giving up on me." Adis smiled gently. "You're my sister. That doesn't change." In the end, Chioma realized something important. It wasn't the foreign country that gave her a new life. It was truth. It was forgiveness. It was family. And as she stood there, surrounded by the people she loved, she knew that while she had taken the wrong path, she had finally found the right destination. A life not built on lies, but on love. And this time, it was truly hers.